Welcome to the 2025 Neuroendocrine Cancer Foundation Annual Patient Conference. I'm Kavya Velagapudi, Executive Director of the Neuroendocrine Cancer Foundation.
I'm Lisa Yen, Director of Programs and Outreach.
And I'm Heather Davis, the Director of Community Engagement.
The theme for today's conference is what matters most to make your next best decision. Thanks to our speakers who are joining us today. Our annual conference would not be possible without the support of our presenting supporter, Novartis, Diamond sponsor, Crinetics, Gold sponsor, Lantheus, Silver sponsor, Exelixis, and Curium. The Neuroendocrine Cancer Foundation was founded in 2012 as LACNETS. This year, LACNETS rebranded as the Neuroendocrine Cancer Foundation. This rebranding signifies the strides we have made in reaching more patients and caregivers, and also in offering more educational and support resources. Our staff includes Lisa Yen and Heather Davis. Our board includes Donna Gavin, who is the sister of our founder, Giovanna Joyce Mbesi, and NET patient Mary Dunleavy. The Neuroendocrine Cancer Foundation is guided by our Medical Advisory Council, which includes some of our closest advisors who are committed to improving the lives of neuroendocrine cancer patients through patient care, scientific research, and education. We partner with the Carcinoid Cancer Foundation to provide its programs, including Luncheon with the Experts and the support line. Now I'll hand it over to Heather.
Our YouTube channel features nearly 450 videos and podcasts. Click videos or playlists to find webinars on our previous annual conferences, various types of treatments, clinical trial snippets, and an array of patient and caregiver stories. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on our upcoming webinars and NET news. We are on Facebook, X, and Instagram with the handle @NCFCancer. And be sure to add us to your Safe Sender email list to receive our monthly newsletters, podcasts, and dates of our next online or in-person educational event. And now I'll hand it back over to Lisa.
I'd like to remind our audience that our webinars are created for educational purposes only and do not substitute for medical advice. The views shared in this conference are the experts' personal opinions. Please contact your medical team with questions or concerns about your individual care or treatment. Today, you'll hear from an extraordinary panel, 19 physicians from across North America, including Canada and Mexico, along with 3 individuals living with neuroendocrine cancer. Together, we hope to share insights that supports what matters most to make your next best decision. We understand what it's like to stand at the crossroads of a treatment decision or to be bracing for the next one. Our hope is that you leave feeling more informed, empowered, and confident in your path forward. And while much of today's conversations will center around cancer, we want to emphasize this: you are not defined by your disease. You are a whole person, and we're here to support you in living fully and richly, even with neuroendocrine cancer. I'm now going to welcome our moderators for today's conference. I'm pleased to welcome our co-moderators for our 2025 Neuroendocrine Cancer Foundation Patient Conference. We're grateful to have NET expert Dr. Andrew Hendefar and NET patient Mary Dunleavy return for their 5th year as co-moderators of our annual conference. Dr. Hendefar is a medical oncologist who leads the neuroendocrine cancer program at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, and he also serves on our medical advisory board. Mary Dunleavy has been living and thriving with neuroendocrine cancer for more than 20 years, and she serves on our Neuroendocrine Cancer Foundation board. Thank you both for being here today and helping to frame today's presentations with your insights. The theme for today's conference is what matters most to make your next best decision. So let's first talk about expectations. Dr. Hendefar, some patients anticipate their doctors will tell them exactly what to do next, perhaps because of past experiences with doctors or because they expect that their NET expert is the expert. So we're wondering how you work with your patients to help them make their next best decision.
Thank you, Lisa. I think that's an excellent question. Usually, medical decision making is a team's effort. So we talk about the state of the cancer itself and what are the options available to it. And then we talk to the patient generally about their treatment preferences. And certain things are more important to certain people than other things. Someone's number one goal might be, for example, not to take any medicine unless absolutely necessary, and someone else would never want surgery, for example. So we take these treatment preferences into account when discussing the next best step. So yeah, I like to think of it as a team effort.
Yeah, a team effort involving values, goals, and preferences. Thank you. Mary, for you, you've been living more than 20 years with this. In general, how do you go about making decisions in your NET journey?
Thank you, Lisa. Well, I would say my decision-making process has changed a lot, and it's evolved a lot over the years. Because I was diagnosed in my 30s when I had two small children, I was really quite overwhelmed with my initial diagnosis, and I relied heavily on my NET expert at the time, which was Dr. Wolin, to guide me and educate me along the way. Now, I became more progressively involved in self-advocating and self-educating over time. That's guided my decisions. And I still rely most heavily on Dr. Hendafar, who's my oncologist, who's wonderful and knowledgeable. And with his urging, I also kind of have taken a lot of ownership in decision making for myself as well. So I would say it's definitely, like he said, a group job.
Yeah, again, a team effort. Dr. Hendafar, oftentimes when a patient comes to you, their most pressing question, understandably, is what treatment do you recommend? Could you explain a bit about the process of evaluating a patient and how or why this matters to be able to discuss treatment options?
Absolutely. So when a patient is evaluated for the first time, very important elements for the physician to consider, we call it the history of present illness or the symptoms and the history that goes behind that, what's been happening to the particular patient for the years prior to the diagnosis. That's one key element. Are there any side effects? Are there any issues? Are there GI symptoms? The next component that's super important are, medical records with detailed pathology reports and imaging. Imaging right now, even though in the modern era it's getting better, it's very hard to get digital images from one place to another. So that's key. Pathology reports are generally good enough, but a lot of times they need to be reviewed. The actual path specimens need to be reviewed. And then the other important pieces of information are any molecular tests done on the tumor or done on blood, and any laboratory tests that were done. So it is a lot of work to get an initial consultation about a neuroendocrine tumor or any cancer. It's kind of similar. But the more information you collect and gather and transmit to the provider, the better your experience will be and the better the information you will receive.
Yeah, thank you for explaining the process there. Mary, you talked about how it was a process for you. How did you learn to speak NET, and how has this changed your relationships with your medical team?
To be honest, I pretty much lived in denial with my disease for a number of years. Speaking NET was not a priority for me at all. And as time went on, I realized my cancer was not going anywhere and things kind of shifted for me. Giovanna Mbesi, who was the founder of LACNet's now NCF, was kind of the first to get me out of my shell with this. She helped me to realize that I wasn't alone in this. And I think I didn't quite realize how much I actually needed that in my life at the time. So once that connection was made, the NET community and the NCF team and so many others became a lifeline for me and really helped me learn to speak NET with my oncologist, Dr. Hendafar. And with all sincerity, I'm not sure I would do without this community. I feel like it's really helped my relationship with my oncologist and my surgeon and the other doctors I have had the pleasure of working with, just because it's a more collaborative experience. And we both get to weigh in on what I think my next best decisions are going to be.
Yeah, the team effort is being part of the community as well. Yeah. Well, thank you both. We're pleased to now introduce our first speakers of the conference who will give an overview of neuroendocrine cancer.
Whether NET is new to you or you are already have a great NET foundation, you will find this presentation focuses on what you need to understand about your disease. Dr. Bhavna Konda, medical oncologist at Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center, the James, covers the topic, what is neuroendocrine cancer?
Our next speaker is Thor Halfdanarson. He's a medical oncologist who runs the neuroendocrine tumor program at Mayo Clinic in Rochester. He's going to be speaking about what matters about biomarkers and blood tests.
Dr. Nadine Malik, radiologist and nuclear medicine doctor, will be joining us to address what matters most about scans. She's already delivered 2 very helpful and complimentary presentations on this topic that you can find on our website, and I recommend reviewing those. This presentation specifically highlights the different types of imaging and how each of them helps to determine your next best decision.
Our next speaker is Vineeth Sukrithan. He's a medical oncologist from The Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center, and he's going to be speaking about what matters about symptom management.